In this video, I will share with you a couple of tips that you can use for drawing with pastels, and in this case particularly the animal portraits. Alright, so I always start with the soft pastels here first, as I like to have a first layer similar to the color of the fur that this particular cat has. Now here I don't pay much attention to the details, as for me it's important to get that first layer right. So in this case I'm using black, then some bluish tone, grays and browns, and this is going to be a very good base for the fine details that's supposed to come after. Now whenever I draw animals, I love using both pastel pencils and soft pastels, and for this particular drawing I'm using Faber-Castell Minis, some Stabilo Carbonatello pastel pencils, as well as Faber-Castell pastel pencils. Now these are simply amazing pencils to use whenever you want to get those fine details, especially while rendering the fur. And I know that Faber-Castell soft pastels are quite basic set of pastels, but I personally love using them as they're not as soft like some other brands are. For example, they are both soft and hard, so this gives me like such an awesome results in the end, as I get to control the shades a bit better in this way, especially because they are not round pastels but they are rectangular ones, so they are also very good even for the details, so I personally love using them. By the way, when it comes to the background, if you're interested in seeing how I got this amazing out-of-focus background using pan pastels, make sure to watch the previous video that I uploaded to see the process, as well as the video before where I'm showing you exactly how to get a strong sketch whenever you're drawing on a pastel matte paper with pastels. It's quite easy, quite simple, and this technique is such a time saver, so make sure to check that out as well. Alright, so another thing that is very important to mention here is I always start my drawing from the left to the right, and I like to finish one part and then transfer onto the other one. It's because pastels are such a delicate medium, and because of it I'm making sure that I don't smudge my drawing in the process. So as I'm like right-handed, I always go from the left to the right, making sure that I finish each and every part before I go on to the next one. Like this, you will make sure that you don't smudge your drawing. You will see me later in the video using the glassine paper, and you can always use the glassine paper as well. Just place it under your hand while drawing. If you did a background before and you don't want to smudge your drawing, glassine paper can be found in almost any art store, or you can order it online, of course. I know that Clairefontaine is producing glassine papers, and you can also find them in your drawing pad in case you bought the Clairefontaine pastel matte paper. They are placed on top of each and every paper, which is also amazing, as once you're done with the drawing, you can preserve your drawing by simply placing a glassine paper on top of it until your drawing is framed. This paper really takes care of pastel drawing so much, so I simply love using it while I'm drawing, and even if you move your hand across the paper, across the glassine paper, you won't smudge your drawing at all. So make sure to have a couple of these once you start working with pastels. Okay, so you can see that I transferred onto the pastel pencils at some point, and with these I managed to get some beautiful details of the fur. Now you can layer one layer and then simply tap it with your fingers, or use either a cotton bud or a blending stump just to make the fur look more natural, and then whenever it's needed, just go over again using some lighter tones and imitating the fur. This process can be so much fun and meditative at the same time, so if you are a person that has a bit more patience and loves to build your drawing bit by bit, then this technique is definitely something you should try out. The great thing about pastels is that you can play around with those out of focus effects as well, like the blurred parts and everything else. So you'll see that some parts of the cat are not quite in focus, and you can easily achieve that by just smudging your pastels more, either with your fingers or with blending stumps, even with the cotton buds. Now this is also another reason why I absolutely love pastels so much. It's because certain effects can be achieved much faster and to look much better than with some other medium. Another great thing is that this medium is very forgiving, so even if you think that you overreacted in certain parts, You can go back and forth either with your soft pastels or with pastel pencils to get the desired look. I've seen artists working either from very light shades and then slowly adding the dark ones, or they start from very dark shades and then work on the details with some lighter tones. And here in this particular drawing, I tested out both methods, and personally I think that both methods are very great, whatever results you want to achieve, and it's just a matter of what you personally prefer more. But I find both methods very useful. As you will see in the end, I really got some awesome results with pastels. I have no idea what is up with me with drawing animals for the past few months, but I find drawing animals so relaxing and joyful. So really, if you're just looking for something to relax your mind and relax your brain, your thoughts, I think that drawing animals is simply going to help out here, as the method that you're going to go through is like so amazing and so relaxing. And the best thing is, it doesn't have to look 100% like the reference photo. You can always spice it up, like spice your drawing up a bit, however you feel like, and you're still going to get one very amazing animal portrait. This method and these subjects kind of gives you much more freedom than drawing people, at least what I think at the moment. Of course, I'm going to go back to drawing people and some beautiful portraits, of course, no questions about it, but I just find this, I think that this is, maybe it might be my phase or something, but it's so relaxing, so fun, and so joyful. And I believe that from time to time we should all be drawing animals. It will like really ease your mind and relax you a bit, especially with all this fur and whiskers and these cute cat's noses. They are simply amazing for drawing. Now you saw how much I played with the tones on the cat's face. I combined loads of blacks, blues, grays, whites, browns, blended them, and then I started working on the details slowly. This is basically something that you should do for each and every part of the drawing. No matter how good this paper is, instead of diving into the details straight away, like we would do definitely with colored pencils, for example, you should start with the first layer, get all the colors you think, it will build up the good base, and then once you blend everything, you can start focusing on the details. Now when it comes to the details, in particular, there is something that each and every pastel artist has a bit of a struggle with, and that is to sharpen the pastel pencils. And as we really need the sharp point for the details, we need to find a way to sharpen them nicely. So I use either a very basic sharpener, or I use the X-Acto knife to sharpen the pencils right. And if you still think that the tip is not as sharp as it should be, you can extra sharpen it by using this sandpaper. I will do a very detailed video about all the tricks that I use to sharpen my pastel pencils, so make sure to click that bell button so you can get notified whenever I post a new video. Another tip when it comes to sharpening your pastels, even if they're not sharpened enough, you can still look for the sharpest part of your pencil and use it. Then keep rotating your pencil in your hand just to keep up with the pencil, as these pencils can become dull so fast, but they always have that tiny bit of a sharp part that you can use for these fine details. And we're coming to the end of the whole drawing slowly. I made sure that for the whiskers, I sharpened my white as much as possible, just so my whiskers would look as natural as possible and not that thick. And once I created them, I blended them a bit just so they wouldn't stand out much from the rest of the drawing. Now I absolutely love how this cat portrait turned out in the end. If you like this drawing, kindly like this video and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have any advice on using pastels, make sure to write it in the comment section down below, because like this you can help so many artists worldwide as well. And we are all here to help each other out in the end. Make sure to click that bell button as well to get notified every time I post a new drawing. Also, check out some of my previous video that I posted on YouTube. I truly hope that you will like all of them. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Also, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below if you like this drawing, of this cute little cat. Again, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, I see you soon in another video. Thank you guys so much. Bye.